We're almost 1 month into fall sports, and it's time to catch up with St. Ursula. So no one better to join me than the athletic director, Mike Donnelly. Thanks so much for coming in and joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
So how are the Arrows doing so far across the 6 fall sports?
Doing very well. We're competing well in volleyball in our league. Soccer, we have a very tough schedule this year. We're beating an independent, but we're competing well in that as well. Golf, doing very well as always. We should be competing for the top of the league this year. Crew's keeping us busy. We're getting ready to start the fall regatta season. Cross country has won an event and competed in the top 5 or 6 in most of their meets. And tennis is doing very well as well. So it's a good fall as usual at St. Ursula Academy.
Definitely an exciting time for sure. You mentioned with soccer that you guys are independent, but the rest of your team's competing in the new Catholic High School League. Just how has that been kind of balancing scheduling the rest of the teams, but then also knowing that soccer has kind of their own challenges with being independent?
Actually, soccer was one of the easier things to schedule when we started back in the spring, working on the fall schedule. With the reputation of our soccer program being one of the top teams in the area, it was not hard to find games with other top teams throughout the state. I think we welcomed that competition. I think those teams welcomed the opportunity to play us when we were in the league before. We didn't have that opportunity.
Another exciting part of this fall is you guys have opened new facilities with Strasser Field. Just how important do you feel like it is to remain competitive with your facilities, especially being a private school?
Well, I think it's very important. Over the 10 years I've been here at St. Ursula, we've had the opportunity to build a new softball field. We've redone our field house, and now we have, as you said, Strasser Field. And we really kind of look at it as a new era. Back when I first started, you look at it and you go, well, it's more of a backyard than it was a field. But it gives us an opportunity to have first-class facilities where kids, they go out for camps and they come to games and see those facilities and say, man, I want to play at something like that. So yes, it is a good attraction for our school as well as our academics at our school and our leadership program. So it's just one more piece of an offering that we have at St. Ursula Academy.
You mentioned that it's been a decade and now entering your 11th year as the athletic director at St. Ursula, but you were at Clay beforehand. How did those experiences compare and then shape you into the athletic director you are now?
Well, I think at Clay, when you're an athletic director for the first time, you don't know what you don't know. And it really took, I would tell everybody, it took me 4 to 5 years, so I really had a good handle on it. So when I had the opportunity to go to St. Ursula, with my family situation, having 2 daughters, it was kind of the perfect fit, and I really felt confident of making that jump because I did have that experience that I had at Clay, and having a mentor like Jim Jersky, who's the principal now at Clay High School, to kind of guide me through when I first didn't know a whole lot as an athletic director, has really shaped me in of how I handle parents, of how I schedule games and mentor coaches and interact with the student athletes. So it's been a rewarding experience. It hasn't always been easy, but I enjoy being an athletic director.
So if you had to give our viewers just a picture of like what a week almost in your shoes is like, what would you say?
Busy. Never a dull moment. Usually 6 days a week for sure, and then the hours are all over the place. So.
And you try to be at everything?
I try to be everything for sure at home. Away games is as a schedule.
All right. Well, we can't wait to see what the rest of all of the fall teams can do at St. Ursula going forward. But thanks so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.